The beaches here may win blue flags, but this weekend is the checkered one that all eyes will be on. Welcome to Bournemouth for the final round of the AquaX Championship. After 4 rounds in 2015, it all comes down to this final weekend and these famous 7 miles of golden sands on this South Coast holiday hotspot to see who will wear the crown. In all 3 classes, the title is still very much up for grabs, and with 60 points on offer this weekend, well, it certainly is all to play for. Here's Georgie Barrett then with a reminder of who's coming into this weekend on a high after the last round in Cardiff Bay.
Thanks, Kev. Cardiff delivered some great racing with no shortage of local Welsh riders in the mix, including Richard Rowe, who went on to take the weekend win in the 250 class, fighting off strong challenge from fellow Welshman and Damien Evans in second, and rookie rider Niall Granell in third. In the 300 class, the top 2 spots went to Phil Pope and Russell Marmon, and with championship contender Joe Harvey not having the best of weekends, the door was left open for Richard Cable to fight for and deservedly take the final step on the podium ahead of Steve Hockney in 4th. And finally, in the 200 class, a smaller field meant the battles were much closer between Dave Lee, who took the top honours by just 3 points, edging Welsh rookie rider Lewis Royale with Nigel Chappell in 3rd.
So unlike the enclosed waters of Cardiff Bay, this weekend the racing takes place right here, with the riders able to launch their skis directly from the beach. The course then will take them past the end of the pier, which is a perfect spot for the fans and spectators to watch. Let's take a look now then at a lap of the course through the eyes of a rider.
Start line, from there it's about a mile running the turn 1. Turn 1 into turn 2 is a short straight. We come along the beach to turn 3 and 4, which is along by the pier. Then turn 4 into turn 5 is along past the pier, turn 5 to turn 6, back into the waves again, and then we're back down that long straight at the back into turn 1.
So that's the course, and it's certainly a great setting for this final weekend of the season. The atmosphere is really starting to build down here on the sand, so I thought I'd catch up with some of the top contenders before they head out on the first race. Here is Phil Pope. Phil, you're currently top of the 300 class. How much sort of pressure is on this weekend for you to take the championship home?
Yeah, I mean, there's pressure, I think, not just for me, for everybody. The top 3 are pretty close, so yeah, but for me the same. It's I'm going to have pressure to beat Russell and Joe. They're going to be chasing, because they're chasing for 2nd and 3rd. So.
Joe, congratulations, you're currently 2nd in the 300 class. Do you think you can hold it out for this final weekend, the final push?
I'm going to do my best, yeah. It's quite close. I mean, Russell's 2 points behind. And he's a really good rider in this rough weather. He loves the rough scene. This is his local town, actually.
Yeah.
He's from down Christchurch, down the road. So we'll see. Try and be consistent. That's what I'm trying to do this weekend. No falling off. Try hard today and then just go mad tomorrow, I think. 2 consistent races today and a rough one tomorrow.
Russell, the final weekend of the season. How are you feeling ahead of the races this weekend?
Yeah, pretty excited actually. It's a great venue. It's my home ground. The conditions here are going to be demanding for everybody. I think it's going to be just as hard to get the machines on and off the trailers as it is going to be riding out there. But no, it's going to be great. Got a good turnout of riders this weekend. Sun shining, what more can we want?
So Richard, you're at the top of the 250s class. Damien, your friend, is not far behind though. Is it going to be quite a battle this weekend to see who can come out on top?
Yeah, it will be. Definitely, without a doubt. It's just going to be flat out there with the rough conditions.
Damien, it's the final weekend of the championship. How are you feeling about everything?
Excited, really excited. Just want to get out there and get on with the racing. I'm going to try my best. I'm 4 points behind Richard, so with a bit of luck he'll sort of be out there, see me behind him and break down in tears and let me pass. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
Dave, it's the final weekend of the championship. You've had an incredible run this year. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh, it's been brilliant. I mean, the weather's throughout has been perfect. We've had a variation of conditions. I mean, today, I think this is going to be the most challenging we have, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Lisa, here we are, final race in Bournemouth. How have you found the AquaX season this year?
It's been great, actually. We've had a lot of new riders come in, which is what the series is all about. It's about attracting recreational riders. There's been a huge development in the stand-up class, which is a new class for us, and that's been nice to see. Lots of young riders from 14, 15, 16, but great competition all through the classes, which is, which is what it's all about.
Next year, looking forward, AquaX will be back again. Are there any sort of things that we can be looking forward to?
I just think bigger and better. We've got some good venues lined up for next year, one in Scotland, so it'll be a truly sort of British championship as opposed to just an English championship. So yeah, it's going to be a good year. I think we've got lots behind the scenes waiting to come out.
So the riders are now in the water for the first race of the weekend. It's all to play for points-wise before that all-important final tomorrow. Let's see if they can hold out in those rougher conditions.
The riders are lined up for the first race of the weekend in sunny Bournemouth, and they're off. It's time to settle the 2015 season. On board with the overall 200 class leader Dave Lee, he looks certain to take the championship crown today. No sign of Russell Marmon, and to the left is the riderless craft of Phil Pope. Both the main title contenders are out of action after a nasty collision, and that means Chris Leitch is the race leader. His switch from Kawasaki to Yamaha has suited him this season. He's riding the waves perfectly as he approaches the turn marker. He eases off the throttle and around the bend, and it's back on the charge as he gets plenty of airtime. On board Dave Lee's Yamaha with the beautiful Bournemouth coastline in the distance. Phil Pope is going again after the accident involving Russell Marmon. Back with Leitch, who's really flying. Some guys are playing it safe and riding to survive. Not Leitch, it's full throttle all the way. In the 250s, it's Rowe versus Evans for the title. There's nothing between them points-wise, and not much between them in this race either. They are side by side. Lewis Royal leads the 200 class. He's been pinching points from Lee recently and looks set to do it again in Bournemouth. Meanwhile, Pope has his arm raised, grinding to a halt. There's the yellow flag as Leitch flies past. And he's really beginning to make his mark, putting all on the line in the last round as he begins to lap the lower class riders. Rowe on the move, and he's right on the tail of Evans again. They blitz past Rookie Cup contender Wayne Lucas, and it's Evans who hangs on to the lead. On board with Dave Lee again. He's not having it all his own way. He's on the verge of being lapped by Lewis Royal. And there is the Welshman. Royal has ridden a perfect race. It's clear water ahead of him. He's odds on to take this one, and with it, the rookie title. Leitch continues to tear through the course. There's no stopping him now. Certainly someone who could be in the top three in the overall championships. On the home straight, and Leitch destroys the field to take maximum points. That was good, solid riding. This is how the 300 class shapes up at the end of race one, with Tim Batt in third behind Joe Harvey and Chris Leitch in top spot. In the 200 class, Lewis Royal takes a convincing win over Dave Lee with Nigel Chappell third, while Damien Evans holds off Richard Rowe in the 250s. The lineup for the second race of the day, it's a depleted field after 6 jet skis retired following race one. Away they go then, it's all pretty even and tight as they turn on the power. In the 250s, it's Richard Rowe who's out in front, followed by Damien Evans. As they make their way past Bournemouth Pier, Joe Harvey's nipped in front of Chris Leitch in the 300 class, and he's beginning to pull away on his Kawasaki. This is Aisha Rensink working her way around the buoy with David Coe in the 250 class right next to her. 300 class leader Joe Harvey really riding aggressively, tackling the waves head on, and that is because Phil Pope is pushing hard right beside him. Lewis Royals had an impressive outing in the last race and has picked up where he left off. It looks like Phil Pope is back on his game and he has taken the lead. Harvey now in second place. Damien Evans has made his way past Rowe to take the lead in the 250s. Back with the championship and race 2 leader Phil Pope. He looks certain to defend his crown, but even with the title practically in the bag, he is still giving it his all. Richard Rowe is leading the 250 class at the moment. There's quite a bit of water between him and Evans, but one slip and that could be it. Harvey's on his feet, desperate to make up some ground on Pope. Pope begins to navigate through the traffic. That's 200 class race leader Lewis Royal getting lapped. Aisha Rensing, whose partner Russell Marmon is not competing after his Kawasaki was damaged in race 1. The good news is that he is fine. Looking at the world-ranked number 5, Tim Batt. It's another remarkable ride by the reigning 300 class champion Phil Pope, especially after his race 1 crash. He takes the win this time. Race 1 winner Chris Leach this time has to settle for 3rd, with Joe Harvey in 2nd and Phil Pope back to winning ways. In the 200s, Lewis Royal again beats Dave Lee, while Damien Evans is the victor in the 250s.
So really testing conditions down here in Bournemouth for the first one of the weekend, and that incident in the first race in the 300 class between Phil Pope and Russell Marmon, has it opened the door for this guy Joe Harvey to lift the title tomorrow? Join us in part 2 and we'll find out. Welcome back to day 2 here in Bournemouth. We're on the final weekend of the 2015 AquaX season. Yesterday was a day packed full of incident and excitement, Georgie. 2 great races, but boy oh boy was it rough out there.
It was beautiful blue sky out here, but out on the water it was incredibly rough. We had a mighty crash on the race 1 between Phil Pope and Russell Marmon, which took both of them out of that race. Unfortunately, it's taken Russell out the whole weekend, which has meant the leaderboard is now opened up.
Yeah. And in the 250 class, I'm loving this because we've got our 2 Welsh big guns, as I like to call them, because they're fit fellas and they're great mates out of the water, but on the water, it's Damien and Richard, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we started off the weekend with Richard 4 points ahead, and now after day 1, Damien's 4 points ahead. So he's slipped back into first place again.
And in the 200 class, Dave Lee, he's already got it wrapped up, Georgie. He's been brilliant all season. He's turned up to every round, done the business, and his points total now can't be beaten.
Absolutely. He can sort of sit back and relax and enjoy this race. Not that I think he will, but he's absolutely guaranteed to be on that top step this afternoon. So alongside the normal aquacross, we also have aqua ski class, and joining me now is Harry and Cameron, who are at the top of their respective classes. Harry, this is your first year of being part of the championship, which makes you a rookie, is that right?
Yeah, it makes me a rookie because when you start at the age of 14, you can actually become a rookie and race with the elites, which is a good experience.
And how have you found this season overall? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, there's been some really good battles, and I've also been up with the elites to have a try and beat them, but you know, they're really fast, so it's good competition.
Well, it does help if you've done it before, which you have, Cameron, and you've done incredibly well this season. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been really good. This is my first season on the aquacross, but I've done closed course racing before, which makes me an elite rider.
And what's been your favourite course this season?
They're all good tracks, nice conditions. Each one's different and different challenge at each one.
Absolutely. Harry, do you think you've learned anything from this year? Will you be back next year to join the elite?
Yeah, I'll join the elite next year and give obviously Cameron and Tom and all at battles, but I've also got to move up in the JSRA as well, which is lake racing, which should be fun as well.
Amazing. And what sort of advice would you say if someone was interested in getting involved in this?
I wouldn't think twice, I'd just come along and give it a go, and everyone's friendly and supports you and everyone helps out.
So the AquaX Championship has delivered once again, and it's going down to the wire in the last race in 2015. And it's going to be a testing one out there today. There's battles still to be fought. And I don't know about you, but if I was heading out into the sea today with it looking like it does right now, I'd be feeling more than a little bit nervous. But it doesn't matter what I think. More importantly, here's what the riders thought when Georgie caught up with them earlier.
Chris, the conditions yesterday were pretty tough, weren't they? How is it looking out there today?
I think it's actually worse. They're not as big, the waves, but it seems a lot choppier, so I think it's going to be a tougher race, to be quite honest.
Do you prefer it choppy or do you prefer a bit flatter?
I always said I like the chop, but it was quite gruelling yesterday.
Tim, final race. You're about to go out onto the water. Are you sort of? Is there a different feel to the final race of the season?
No, just the same as always. Really, a little bit nervous, a little bit keen to get out there. Rough conditions now. I think it's worse than yesterday. Looking at it,
it is rough out there.
It's going to be good fun. It's going to be hard work. I think it's going to be initially cold, so I've got my windproof, waterproof top on. But I think 15 minutes in, I'm going to be sweating. So.
Duncan, how's 2015 treated you on the AquaX Championship? Have you enjoyed yourself?
I have enjoyed it, but not got the results I wanted, obviously. My best result was at Scarborough at the start of the season, and it's sort of gone a bit downhill from there. But no, it's really great, and we'll be back next year, definitely. I don't know what I'm going to be riding yet, but we'll be back next year, and I'm really pleased that we're going up to Scotland as well. That'll be real cool.
So it's the final race of the AquaX Championships 2015. It is all to play for to see who will get those podium positions.
The last race of the P1 AquaX season is underway, and in the 300 class, Joe Harvey takes the early lead with Phil Pope in second and Chris Leach in third. The surf is bigger than the day before, which should provide great entertainment. On board with Dave Lee, who's lost 2 races this weekend to the young rider Lewis Royal. This is Joe Harvey, the race leader on his Kawasaki. He's really excelled in these tricky conditions, but can he hold off Pope? It could be a tight final race. All the riders are looking to end the season on a high note. Harvey looking to open up the gap. He's motoring around the course nicely and reading the waves. Pope's not far behind in second place. And Chris Leach is in third. It's really close around the turn buoy between those two. Back with Dave Lee, the race leader in the 200 class. He's ending the season how he started it, and that is in first place. Harvey hitting the waves hard. He's setting a grueling pace. He only started P1 AquaX a couple of years ago. Now he's challenging for titles. That's a big splash. The strain on the hands and arms must be something else. Harvey slows down as he approaches the turn and then is back on his feet as he hits the straight. In the 250 class, Ryan O'Connor sits in 6th at the moment. But leading is Damien Evans. He's on course for a clean sweep in Bournemouth. He still has to hold off Rowe, though. Dave Lee playing it smart and safe. Evans just coming into the picture, starting to creep up and lapping riders in the 200 class. The 300 class champion Phil Pope has been outstanding all throughout the season, consistently dominant in every round and will comfortably defend his title. He's in second in this race behind Joe Harvey. Looking at second place, 200 class rider Lewis Royal and first place 250 class rider Damien Evans. Joe Harvey can see the finish. He's done well to hold off Pope and he has improved throughout the season. He could be a major contender for the crown next year. And here he comes, Joe Harvey takes victory in the Bournemouth Grand Prix of the Sea. The final race result board of the season sees Joe Harvey make it 3 different winners this weekend, with the other victors Pope and Leach in second and third. In 200, it's a win for Dave Lee as he gets the better of Lewis Royal this time, while Damien Evans triumphs over Richard Rowe in 200 once again. And here is the championship roll of honour with Dave Lee 200 champ, Damien Evans 250 champ and Phil Pope 300 champ for 2015.
Congratulations, how do you feel?
Yeah, man, I enjoyed the weekend. I liked the because it was a bit rougher than all the others, so.
Dave, congratulations, you're 2015 champion. How's the whole season been for you?
Oh, it's been brilliant. I let myself down a little bit of this round, but for the rest of it, you know, I did what I needed to do.
Damien, congratulations, a phenomenal weekend and a phenomenal overall 2015 performance. How have you found it all?
Oh, I was lagging behind at the start of the season and sort of came back a bit, and what a fantastic 3 races over the weekend in Bournemouth, especially to finish the season and win the championship on as well.
Joe, congratulations, you did incredibly well this weekend, a 2nd overall. How's it been for you?
Yeah, really good. 2nd overall, what can I say? To be fair, I wanted 3rd overall, obviously with Russell and Phil in the series. And yeah, it's just sort of playing in my favour. Obviously Russell had a bit of an unfortunate weekend this weekend. But yeah, still cling on to 2nd, yeah.
But you have finished 1st overall for 2015. Does that feel good to take that home?
Yeah, it's good to have it for the 2nd year. I'm not sure what I'll do next year, so it may be short-lived. I'll probably, I think Joe's the winner next year.
So how about that? What a finale to 2015 down here on the beach in Bournemouth. Georgie, we've survived perhaps the most blustery day I've ever seen. But more importantly, the guys out there on the water, the surf, they survived it too.
Absolutely. And what a weekend for Joe Harvey. He's come out
brilliant.
On top, but it wasn't quite enough to clinch the overall championship, with Phil Pope coming out 1st in the 300 class.
Yeah, and he did have, obviously, throughout the season, Phil had a battle there with Russell Marmon, but that came to a head quite literally in that first race, and that was the end of Russell's weekend.
Absolutely. Unfortunate for him. 250s though, Damien Evans had a corker of a weekend, 3 races, won them all, and has come out on top for the 250 class in the championship.
That's an absolute sweep, and I know Richard will be the first to congratulate him there. Richard rowing the 250s as well.
Good friends, but competition out on the water.
And looking at the 200s then, Lewis Royal, the rookie, winning the weekend. Brilliant result for him, but again, not quite enough to topple Dave Lee.
Absolutely, we knew that already at the start of today, that Dave Lee had already will be taking the 1st position in the 200 class, but still phenomenal.
Brilliant stuff. Georgie, it's been awesome. Thanks so much for your company in 2015.
It's been my pleasure.
And thanks for your company also. What a season it's been. Hopefully you can join us again next year for more AquaX. See ya.